So look, man. So look, I'm starting a new YouTube section, channel, whatever, and I'm calling it CIA, Criminal Activity in America. And this is the first episode. I just heard this news about a FedEx driver kidnapping a little girl in Texas and killing her. And I just was thinking, like, what exactly is we dealing with in this country? And who's among us when we go outside? It's a lot of stuff we gotta look out for when we in society in this country. It's like almost it's like, is there any regular civilians? Or is everybody just suppressing that demon inside?
We're glad to.
We finna watch the news about what happened right now. We gonna formulate our own, opinions and ideas.
See y'all here tonight. It's been a really, really tough few days.
No man the sirens. I do live in Chicago.
And I'm very proud of the people who are here who helped us so much to get some resolution, to get some understanding, to provide answers for the families. And these people, we couldn't have done it without that. Could not have done it without them. The Texas Rangers. This is the acting SAC, Jim Dwyer with FBI. And then I've got my chief deputy and captain, enforcement captain here. It was a monumental task, and because of the cooperation, because of us working together, we were able to get the answers. Some of the answers were not the answers that we would have hoped that we would have gotten. And we want to send our condolences out to the family of Athena Strand. Her body was recovered about 2 hours ago, maybe 3. 6 miles that direction. It hurts our hearts to know that child died. So much so that she is on her way now to the medical examiner's office. And there's a Texas Ranger in front of her, and there's a Texas Ranger behind her. This community does not like losing her.
I mean, I understand, you know what I'm saying? He's saying it was a Texas Ranger behind her and a Texas Ranger in front of her. But damn, where were the Texas Rangers when she really needed them?
Children. And we could see it because of all the people who came out and helped us throughout this ordeal. It was most meaningful what the citizens did because we have a close-knit group of folks here in Wise County. And it's our pleasure to serve these folks in Wise County, the Rangers, the FBI, and the Sheriff's Office. We're glad that we've had this opportunity, but we're just sad that it didn't end the way that we would hope that it would end. Earlier today, a tip was received. We knew early on in the investigation that there had been a FedEx driver made a delivery in front of the house about the same time that little thing.
A FedEx driver. A FedEx predator. So now we gotta watch out for FedEx drivers and UPS drivers and all this other shit. Everybody who got jobs these jobs require them to damn near come into our personal space and know where we live and all that type of activity.
7-year-old Athena, came up missing.
Think about this for a second. This guy's a FedEx driver. He's delivering a package. He see a little girl. He's so sick, wicked, that he couldn't even help himself. He had to take that little girl. He had to snatch her. He's so sick, so twisted. He had to do it. He couldn't help himself, it seemed like. If you're delivering packages on the job, imagine that. Imagine you outside, your kids outside playing. The FedEx guy come by, deliver a package, he leave. You go outside, your kid gone.
And continued good work by this investigative team, they were able to determine that the driver abducted Athena. And from the investigative standpoint, digitally as well as good old interviews, we think Athena died within just a very hour or so, the very hour or so after her departure from her home. This driver is a contract driver, and his name is Tanner Lynn Horner. He's 31 and he's from Lake Worth. He's in the Wise County Jail right now because of the good work of these people and all the folks out there who have helped, our EMC, our prosecutors here tonight.
Why they didn't show his picture? Why they didn't have his picture up? And it might be on another news broadcasting or something, but they didn't have it up on here. But we're gonna watch. We're gonna see a couple of them and see what's going on with this one, because this is weird. The fact that he was delivering a package and seen the little girl and kidnapped her and he killed her. For what reason? For what? Like what? Like what? For what? You 31. I'm 30 years old. I wouldn't. Nothing like that crosses my mind. What are you thinking? What's going on with you?
Deputies, the Highway Patrol, the citizens. He's in our jail, and he's in our jail being charged with capital murder, aggravated kidnapping, and his bond is $1.5 million.
Why does he even have a bond? Why would you give somebody a bond who kidnapped a little girl and ended her life? Why should that person have an opportunity to be out? I don't know. I don't understand that at all. Why would that person? Why would y'all want to give that person the opportunity to get out? That only means that the opportunity to get out is the opportunity to do it again. For a person like that, who's that sick, that twisted, who will do something like that, spur of the moment, and y'all want to give him a bond?
At this time, we thank again the community, and I guess at this point we'll take questions.
Was her body found on that 3599 where you were at earlier?
You want to no. It was on another county road, about 6 minutes. We don't really want to release that address right.
I just want to say, what was her parents at? I mean, I understand, you got kids, you should be able to let them play in the front yard, and you should have to. I mean, but me personally, I'm outside with my kids. I gotta keep eyes on them. I don't have no kids yet, but I know how this world is, so I know how I gotta be.
Now, but it was 6 miles further from here, so it's probably 3 miles past that. It's southeast of Boyd.
Was the driver actually delivering the package to their home?
Yes, sir, he was.
So she was abducted from her home, from the front of her home?
The driveway is about 200 yards or so probably pretty close to her gate.
What leads you to believe that she...
Driveway is 200 yards. That's a long driveway. That's 2 football fields.
passed away within an hour of leaving home?
So that means the little girl could have been just running around her yard, running her driveway. FedEx driver pull in a personal space, and he do that. How sick, how twisted is this society, and what's making a society this way? What's making people do these things?
There's digital evidence as well as interviews that causes us to believe that.
And how is the driver located?
You want to answer that question? Do you want to answer that question?
Why is he deferring questions to somebody else?
There were a number of...
I'm guessing this is the actual investigator, so I guess he's more suitable to answer these questions regarding the investigation.
investigative steps have taken course along the way. The sheriff mentioned the digital evidence that was there, and we were able to work through that digital evidence and through partnerships with FedEx in order to help assist with locating him and finding him this afternoon.
FedEx. This look like a big lawsuit. Big.
Do you have any prior criminal history?
I don't know the answer to that question at this point.
When you talk about that digital evidence, do you mean ring camera videos, surveillance camera videos?
I think the investigation is still unfolding at this point, and I think we'll leave the specifics in terms of what that is there. But right now we're.
I think the reason they do that because they know it's gonna probably be a trial coming, and they don't want to give the defense too much information, so they can start building up their case and building up their defense. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give them too much. So they just like to keep that under wraps until the trial, and then they'll let everybody know what's going on. So now it can be kind of like a surprise. It ain't a surprise because the defense attorney still gonna know about it, but they gotta wait until the trial to know about it. They can't know right now and start. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give them no chance to try to get to none of that. You know what I'm saying?
On behalf of the FBI, I'd also like to offer my condolences to the Strand family and to the Wise County community as well. The partnerships with the Texas Rangers and with the gentleman behind us, the sheriff from Wise County, were truly remarkable and truly helped to bring some closure to that family today. And we know that they're hurting, but we do offer our deepest condolences to them.
Is just one person that you believe is responsible?
That is currently the understanding, yes.
And what led you to that location where her body was recovered?
Sure.
I can address that. It was because of the work of the Rangers and our investigators who were doing the interview that got us to that location based on the information they received from the suspect, now defendant.
The suspect confessed?
We do have a confession.
I mean, obviously he confessed if he let them know where the body was. So what was this then? Like what is this about? Kidnap a little girl, kill her, go confess, go to jail? Like, is this the criminal activity in America? To cause pain and suffering before you end your life, basically? That's what it is. That's what's going on. A lot of people not happy with their lives, and they rather go out and cause pain and suffering to your life before they take their own life.
Is there anything that you can give us on why the suspect said he did this, or what motivated him? Or...
We really can't get into the content of the confession, but I will say that we have a confession, and there's so many other things, because this has really just come to this position, this time, and just closure, just hours ago. So it's still very, very early, but we wanted to make sure that we got the information out, what has happened today, because of the good work right here.
Do you know if this man knew Athena or her family?
No, that's a good question, and I appreciate that. No, he was not related and did not know the family.
We saw a large police presence on County Road 4599. Can you disclose?
That was just misinformation. As the interview went on, better information came in, and that's how we ended up doing what we did to actually recover the body.
How many locations did you guys?
Going the extra mile.
Boy, the people that be asking the questions, they be asking the right questions, boy.
There were three that I recall. Is that correct, Joe? Three? Two other locations.
Was the other location the Lake Worth, Fort Worth location near Somerville Place Road?
That is the defendant's home address.
Was there anything recovered there?
That again, that FBI as well as the Rangers ran that search warrant. We don't have that detail right now.
That's part of an ongoing investigation.
I know you've been in contact with the family. Is there anything that they want to say to the public tonight, to people that have surged?
I have. I spent quite a bit of time with the family, and they want you to know that they appreciate that. The vast majority of the families from Oklahoma, and they appreciated the fact that we care so much. They're devastated. They're angry because of what happened. Precious child taken from their lives. So other than their appreciation, and they would like to know that the community we give them our condolences, but we also want to make sure that we give them the privacy that they need. And I hope that everybody will respect that and give them a little bit of space, not only with the family from Oklahoma, but the family right here in Cottondale. Let's give them a little time. And we would ask, from my closing remarks, we would ask that we spend some time and pray for these folks, so that they might be relieved of some of the pain. It's going to be a difficult few days, some sleepless nights, and they need our support.
Sheriff, is there a mugshot yet? Have you got a mugshot on this stuff?
We'll be able to get one soon, and I think we can probably get that through the Wise County Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff, one last thing. You are a retired ranger, been in law enforcement 50 years. Describe this case in relation to your entire career.
You know, it's one of the toughest investigations that I've been involved in, because it's a child. And anytime there's a child that dies, it just hits you in your heart. You compare that child to your own children when they were that age, and it just takes the wind out of your sails, but at the same time, it gives you purpose, because you want to make sure that you do the best you can so that you get the best resources together to do what has been done here, and getting this done in really just about a 3-day period. It's amazing that the work was done by this team, and I'm in awe. So it breaks my heart, but at the same time, it really gives me a lot of spirit, knowing that we can accomplish what we accomplished here these last 3 days.
I mean, he's trying to make it look, wrap it up and not make it look good. Or he trying to he know it's messed up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go to another video, you know what I'm saying, and see what he's talking about there. But I just feel like he probably wasn't expecting nothing like this as a sheriff in his county. You know what I'm saying? When something like this happened in your county as a sheriff, of course you gotta find a suspect ASAP. Dude was found, he confessed, but it's still a heartbreaker, because now this is gonna linger on in this county forever. Her name is gonna linger on in this county, in that county forever, in Wise County. So in Dallas, Fort Worth. So it's gonna definitely leave a stain.
Appreciate the assistance of media because this is a pretty big deal for us at the Wise County Sheriff's Office. And I know that some of y'all have heard a lot of the information that was put out yesterday, which is still accurate. And I'm going to go back through some of it because some of you may have not heard that. This is Craig Johnson. He's our Chief Deputy. He's going to help me because I know that y'all have some questions, and when you do have the questions, we'll be prepared to answer those things as much as we possibly can, understanding that it's an ongoing investigation. So on Wednesday,
Right now, we just tuning in. We're talking about this little girl who was kidnapped by this FedEx
Athena
driver
Strand
and
stepped off her
killed
school bus
while he was delivering a package
she
to
does
her home.
almost every day at County Road 3573 in Paradise. At about 6:40 p.m. that same day, Wise County Sheriff's Office dispatched
Hey, like, subscribe,
received
share,
a 911
all that.
call from Athena's stepmom reporting that Athena was missing.
Just think about it for a second, though. A FedEx driver who was delivering a package kidnapped the kid at the home that he's delivering the package to and killed her. 7-year-old girl. So now when FedEx driver delivering the packages, you gotta watch them. When anybody delivering the packages, you gotta watch them now. You gotta watch your kids. You should have been watching your kids anyway, but this happening on their property, in their driveway.
I think it was about 14 minutes. We had deputies, EMS, volunteer fire departments there, and there was a search that commenced just right away. And that search, for the most part, was that area of the house, inside the house, under the house, and then the immediate area in that 6-acre tract where they live. But they weren't able to locate the child. So later on in the night, we had THP who came to help, the EMC, Emergency Management
TSP, I'm guessing that's Texas State Police.
Coordinator, as well as the fire marshal, and multiple local PDs joined in and helped us in the investigation and the search. And in the nighttime, we had DPS 101 helicopter, DPS 101 and Fort PD's Air One that were there. And they had thermal imaging helping to locate heat signatures on the ground. But they didn't find anything other than wildlife, rabbits, hogs, and some deer. No indicate.
So they had all this technology to go out and look for this little girl, and they still needed his confession to find her. So what good does technology do?
That there was any human activity out and about. Local law enforcement had,
I mean, I know it do some good, but you get what I'm saying.
as well as Rescue One, Search and Rescue One, had their canine teams. And those canine teams worked throughout the night in the darkness until the early
Hey, if you can hear what he's saying, give me a thumbs up.
morning hours trying to pick up a trail. They picked up a short trail that just kind of circled around the house and then headed back over toward 2123. 2 different dog teams ran that track out, but still, we didn't find Athena.
Hey, I said give me a thumbs up if you can hear what he's saying.
So at about 4:30 that morning, we gathered up and decided, okay, we're going to shut it down and be back at First Light. Just yesterday morning. So yesterday morning, we were all on scene at 7 a.m. as the sun was coming up, and we started the search with mostly law enforcement, Highway Patrol, Sheriff's Office, Texas Rangers, DPS, CID. And that search didn't prove to be effective as well. We ended up with about 200 volunteers from the citizens around here in Wise County. Came forward and wanted to do something to help. So with the help of our EMC, we were able to coordinate and get those folks on tracks and on search patterns so that we could cover that six acres and cover it well. We had so many volunteers, and they were I guess, mostly helped by law enforcement along the way. They were walking shoulder to shoulder through the brush.
That's what they do regularly. When somebody go missing, they go out, you know what I'm saying? They walk shoulder to shoulder, walking through acres, you know what I'm saying? For me, I feel like it's just something for the news to see so they can make it seem like they out there looking for them. Because like I said, they didn't find nothing. They didn't find nothing to do confessed, which we just seen that in the last video. So, and if you ain't see that, go rewind this live and watch that. But they didn't, so it's like every time somebody go missing, they shoulder to shoulder outside looking for him, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying they ain't never found nobody like that, but it's like for me, it's like a publicity type. I mean, I know they gotta do it because I mean they still actively looking, but it's like I don't know, man.
But still, there was no luck. From the very beginning, this was it's 2 nights ago. It was a search accompanied by an investigation. A search accompanied by an investigation.
A search accompanied by an investigation. Exactly. How could a random FedEx driver? It's not how could, because we know people capable of anything, but the fact that this person we know we would never expect did something like this is the crazy mind blowing thing. But the fact this man just said a search accompanied by an investigation. What are you? I mean, what are you saying? Are you saying that y'all got more knowledge of about the search now? So now, because it's accompanied by an investigation, that y'all got investigative knowledge. So now y'all can make y'all search a lot bit easier. Or what is the point of him saying that at all? We gotta hear that.
But we are now transitioning to an investigation accompanied by a search.
First, he said it was a search accompanied by an investigation. Now he's saying it's a transition to a investigation accompanied by a search. Is he playing mad games? Or what? Is he just saying shit? Because what are you searching for? A body, right? That's an investigation, right? That's a part of the crime, right? What are you playing tricks and using word vocabulary man games and stuff for? That sound like some wordplay that was unnecessary.
The investigation itself is a responsibility of Wise County Sheriff's Office.
So is he saying that now because it's an investigation and it's under their jurisdiction that they the only one responsible for what the search or something? Yeah, he playing around for what though? That's what I'm saying. For what though? What reason? What reason would he have to play around with his words? That's my thing.
Being assisted, and thankfully so, we're being assisted by the Texas Rangers, DPS CID. We're being assisted by local PDs, the U.S. Marshals, and the FBI. The FBI is helping us with digital resources and investigative support. And so we're asking the citizens, if we could, we're asking the citizens that if they see anything, if they know anything, that they would either call the Sheriff's Office, 940-627-5971, and report that, or the FBI office, 972-559-5000, in hopes that we can get some more information that will get us to the point that we could find Athena. It's heavy on our minds. Many of us have gone without sleep.
So this video must be before the video that we just watched of him not knowing that I guess him not knowing what the location of it was.
Information out to the citizens who live in that area, and we talked to Wise County Messenger already about this, that when they...
But see, my thing is this though, right? This news just came out today or within the last night. I'm gonna make sure that before I speak on that, I'm gonna make sure that, cause I'm just hearing about it today, so it might have came out. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But it's fresh though. But my point of saying that is, if it's fresh, if it's that fresh, let's say it's happened yesterday, and the FedEx driver, to me, the FedEx driver got to be the main suspect. He the only one who was at the house around the time she went missing. So how is it that they looking and they got, you know what I'm saying, they don't know. I mean, obviously they don't know because the FedEx driver, they got him probably in that room talking to him. He probably ain't said nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? And they still gotta look and, you know what I'm saying, all that. So that's probably what that was about.
Get home in that area, please go out and look at the outbuildings, look inside the outbuildings and your barns, look through the brush, and just search your acreage that you have.
So is it that they trying to find her before he tell them or something? Because if he confessed and he the one who gave them, he the one who told them what she was at. What did he do that for? If they never found her and they needed him to tell her where she was at, what is this all about?
So that we can have that peace of mind that she's not in another place that we have not looked. The search is continuing. It's more of a spotted search now instead of the kind of grand search that you saw yesterday with all of those citizens. So with that, we would be glad to take questions.
Mr. Sheriff, has the family been previously known to the Wise County Sheriff's Office? Have they had previous calls to this house?
To my recollection, we've had no calls to that house, Andrew, so no.
I mean, I was gonna say why would that matter, but I guess it kind of matter. I guess because they under the knowledge that they don't know who did it. They don't know what's going on right now. I'm guessing.
Any other questions?
Why is it transitioning to investigation and not search?
Well, it's been search and investigation.
The news anchor just asked him why is it transitioning to an investigation and not a search. So we can listen to him explain that.
Any other questions?
Why is it transitioning to investigation and not search?
Well, it's been search and investigation. Now it's more so investigation and search because
it's been search, investigation. Now it's investigation, search. Can somebody make sense of that to me? Let me just think about that for a second. It's been search. Then I understand what he's saying. I understand we just been looking. We just been looking. Before we even been investigating, we just looking. But it's like if you, I mean, obviously y'all investigating and looking though. Because if it's a missing kid, that turns into an investigation off top. If you looking for it, that's investigating. So why is it the wordplay? Why is it the...
We've completed most of that search. It's covered that area that we need to cover. So we're still going to do some spot searching as information comes in. And as
So I'm taking that he's saying that as information come in from the investigators who talking with suspects, that's when they can get more spot on places to search. So basically, they're gonna have more knowledge about what they dealing with or who they looking for. But for him to try to do the wordplay and all that, it was unnecessary.
Normally the case, the investigation then becomes the forefront because we've got a lot of people to interview. We've got the digital information that we need to be going through, so that takes up the investigative time. So we're spending more time now on the investigation than we were with search.
Do you have reason to believe that?
So what you saying? He just stopped searching and we just gonna start investigating? Like that don't even make. Come on, man. Like, come on, bro. What are you saying?
The foul play is involved. An Amber Alert was issued
I mean, I know what you're saying, but like, come on, man.
at some point
Yes.
when you didn't do that initially.
No, we actually did. We sent it out to DPS right away. And I think DPS must have some parameters on that, so that they wait until there's some reason for cause or concern. And obviously, there's reason for concern when the child has not been recovered in about 24 hours. So they put that out, and it doesn't necessarily mean we expect foul play, but we do understand that could be a possibility.
So he just said, if a child go missing, it's not going to be taken serious until it's 24 hours later. Damn. That's what the family got to wait on, 24 hours? Until y'all say, okay, all right, we might think of some foul play going on here. Why y'all ain't think that when I told you my child was missing in the beginning? My child shouldn't be missing.
Could I answer that, Sheriff? Yes, you can.
Will you step up like those microphones?
And please identify yourself as well for all of us.
Thank you so much.
I'm Craig Johnson. I'm the Chief Deputy, Wise County Sheriff's Office. To add to what the Sheriff was saying into your question, the transition is in part due to the over 300 now people, men and women in different groups that volunteered, because we were able to cover a vast amount of area, talk to tons of people more quickly than we would have without them. So we were able to go through a lot of different areas and aspects of a search type incident looking for Athena very quickly, check and recheck. And so now the mechanics of the situation, the investigation dictate that we keep moving into this next area. But largely it's due to the good work to the women and men who volunteered their time and came out and really looked hard.
Can you please explain what the next steps are? You mean that there's no searching now?
Man, it's a sad situation, man. Sad situation, man.
Now let's investigate. Can you explain what's next and how it's going to be?
Well, it's not just an investigation, it's the sheriff.
Think about what this family gonna have to deal with just going forward. Man, this is mind blowing type. I said FedEx got a big lawsuit coming. They finna have to pay. It might be 100 million or something like that.
Said it's transitioning to an
The family deserve it though. The family deserve it. I know FedEx can't control what they, but man, y'all gotta have some type of responsibility for that. He under y'all.
investigation with a search. Leads still are being followed up on as they come in from leads that are developed via law enforcement or leads that are phoned in from different citizens or groups. But if we've checked and double checked and triple checked all of the things out in a typical grid search area, like what you largely saw yesterday, then we have to keep looking, we have to keep digging and following up on every lead. And it wouldn't be necessarily productive to have 300 people staged waiting to go search here and here and here and here.
Are you still asking volunteers to stay away from the scene and let law enforcement do it, or are you accepting the help of volunteers now?
We're asking that they stand down at the moment. There are some folks that come and volunteer. That is great. However, we struggle right now, again, thanks to the good work that was done yesterday.
Why would they ask volunteers to stand down? That don't really make sense. Stand down for what? We need to look. Y'all found something already or something? We need to go still search and see if we go find her. Why are we stopping? What y'all know?
By the 300 plus people on where to direct them.
Could you speak to the experience that either the office or you as individuals have with missing children, what that experience could play into, and how maybe those instances have played out in the past?
Well, our chief deputy is retired from Grapevine PD. I'm a retired Texas Ranger. Been working in law enforcement since 1974. I think he's got about 30 years in law enforcement. I'm coming up on 50 years in law enforcement. We have encountered those investigations on many occasions. We find that if we solicit the support of the citizens as well as the other agencies who bring some expertise that we don't have, we're going to rely on them to make sure that we get everything done so that we can find out what happened to Athena, hopefully find her and bring her home alive and well. But again, I say that it's all about the possibilities, and we've got to look at everything.
Sheriff, can you talk about the conversations with the family?
I believe that they already know that she's not going to be found alive and well. I mean, if y'all stopping the search, you know what I'm saying, that means y'all know something. Y'all don't want a potential crime scene to be disturbed by anybody that would be out there in case they happen to be a suspect. That's just what I think.
We know there's a couple different dynamics, mom from Oklahoma, stepmother and biological father here. Can you give us some insight as to how they must be feeling or conversations with them?
Both sides, the mother and the stepmother and the father, they have been very cooperative. The investigation, the interviews have been conducted by our Texas Ranger, a local Texas Ranger, and one of our investigators. And it has gone very well. We've got information that the first information that we had was, it may still be accurate information. The information that we had at first was that the mother and daughter had a little bit of an argument, which is not unusual for a 7-year-old and the stepmother. And the stepdaughter got upset. Athena got upset, and she walked away, as she has done in the past, but they expected she would come back. But she did not come back, and we obviously have been unable to find her.
Sheriff, where was the father during all of this?
So she had an argument with her stepmom and walked away, and they don't know where she went after that. A 7-year-old girl.
The father was on his way to a deer hunting trip in South Texas, and she called him, and he turned around and came back. He was somewhere south of Fort Worth when he received that call.
Some of the neighbors told me that Athena, was to be going to Oklahoma back to her natural mother, and that was to have occurred right about now. Is that so?
We have been told that. I'm not sure that it is so. Our investigators are on it.
Whoa, that's a whole different. So at the same time this happened, she's supposed to be leaving and going to move with her real mom? This might be something deeper than just a FedEx driver just tripped out.
They may have a different idea on that, but we have been told that, and we do believe that probably is true, but we're not absolutely.
Perhaps that had something to do.
And when I say tripped out, I mean his brain is flawed. His brain flawed. His brain tripped out. He ain't got it all.
With the dynamic of the family that was going on at that time.
It's very possible. That's one of the possibilities. Yes, sir.
So the stepmother was the only adult at home at the time of her disappearance?
That's correct.
If you're in a public place, you hear the loud ringing for the Amber Alert, and almost everybody.
So the stepmama who she just argued with was the only one there that was supposed to look after her. Probably didn't care. Not saying she did or she didn't, but if she was just on her, if she was supposed to be leaving to go move with her real mom, and she just had an argument with her stepmom around the same time, all this stuff ain't, it ain't.
They might just silence their phone, right, and maybe not even take a look. How important?
They gotta look more into that stepmom. I feel like, even though the FedEx driver might have confessed and all that, they gotta look into more of that stepmom and see if maybe she had a relationship with the FedEx driver or something, and she might have talked him into doing that or something like that. I ain't saying that that's what happened, but for all this to just happen around the same time, and all this, she's supposed to be leaving with going with her real mom. The dad just happened to be going out of town. FedEx driver delivering. They get into it.
Is it to just glance at it, maybe you see a description of a car, maybe you see a description of something that could help.
Well, that's why we're so judicious about putting those things out. People have got to realize that that's an important issue when they hear that coming across their phone. And I've been in a restaurant when everybody gets them at the same time, almost like tornado warnings. And so it's important that they look at that, especially if it's in your geographic area. So many times they're in South Texas, and you get a little bit, I guess it becomes mundane because it's so far away. But in those that are close by, we would hope that everybody would look at it, and if they come up with some information that would be helpful, we in law enforcement would appreciate it if they give us a call.
The fact that you guys have done such an exhaustive search in the immediate area around the home, and this is a 7-year-old who's presumably just on foot, what does that tell you about where she could be at this point?
Well, we are deeply concerned about that because it's been a long time. That first night it was 28, 29 degrees, and she wasn't dressed real warm yet. We originally thought that she was wearing a plaid jacket, but in reality she was in a t-shirt with jeans
28,
and boots.
29 degrees. I ain't know it get that cold in Texas like that. I ain't know it get that cold. 28, it's about 20, that's the same degrees out here. I ain't know it get that cold. It's 27 degrees out here. Same thing in Texas. That's crazy. I didn't know it get that cold in Texas.
So we have a lot of concern. The longer it goes, the more we're concerned. But even so, I'm an optimistic guy. Our chief is an optimistic guy. We're trying to do everything we can to recover this child.
Do any of the homes in the area have?
Shit, it might as well snow out there too. Shit, they gonna be 27 degrees. They might as well fucking don't snow out there. Do it snow in Texas? Put that in the comments after you watch this video.
External security cameras that may have picked up a passing vehicle?
We have checked on that, and we don't have any right there in that very area. There's no Ring doorbells along those lines. But even so, we're going to keep canvassing, and we sent out, our DPS troopers helped us canvass every house, probably within a 5-mile radius. And there were some video opportunities, but those have not proven to be fruitful to this point.
We're live. If anyone's tuning in, can you repeat who and what we're looking for and where? Just to
Who we're looking for?
surmise? Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got some pictures here, some photographs of Athena that some of them we pulled off social media.
So basically, FedEx driver delivering a package to this property, kidnapped a little girl, killed her, and right now that's all we know. Rest in peace to that little girl, man. And make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, all that, whatever you're gonna do. And make sure y'all stay safe out there, man. And watch y'all kids.